up, everybody? Just out on a nice, easy run on the trail. It's Saturday. This section of trail is not somewhere that I've been very often. Like maybe only once or twice before, because it's quite a ways away from where I used to live, and it's still like almost 5K out from where I live now. And it's not a really well-groomed area, especially once I cross the road up here. So I'm already went out 5K. I'm on my way back now. But there's some good scenery out here. There's a nice river we're approaching here now. You'll hear that pretty loudly. But I just thought I'd do a little bit of an update video on the running, since I'd mentioned let's get a nice shot of this. A lot of trees, I guess, but anyway, since I had mentioned that I wasn't going to be aiming for my sub 20 in that 5K a couple weekends ago, and that my new goal was going to be the sub 140 half in July, just wanted to give an update on how things have gone the last couple of weeks. So I've built up the mileage a little bit again, running about 40K a week for 2 weeks in a row. That's still not a lot. It's only like 25 miles or something like that, but definitely feeling nice to get it back up there from essentially nothing. And then this week I'll definitely hit 50K. Actually, today's run will put me at just about 40, and then tomorrow I'll probably do like 15K or 10 mile or something like that. But just keeping things nice and easy today. Sun's out, super warm. It actually feels like summer, even though I started this run at like 10:30 in the morning. It was already, starting to feel a little bit too hot. So I guess I gotta get used to the heat training again though, because my half marathon is late July. So it's the same event where I ran my sub 4 marathon last year, where the sun came out in the last 15K or so and basically killed everybody. It's the main road. All right. This next section of trail's pretty rough, but yeah, so gotta get used to some heat training. That's okay. Tuesday this week had a really nice workout. So Tuesdays, 6 o'clock, there's a local group that gathers somewhere in town, depending on the week, depending on the weather, and do either hill repeats or 200s, 400s, whatever. And this week, not used to holding the selfie stick. Arm's getting a little tired. This week we did kind of like hill repeats, but it also included some gravel trail. So it was like up a hill for about 150 meters, and then you cut out on this little gravel bit. There's enough of a little downward grade that you can kind of catch your breath from the hill, but then it like sharply turns to the left and climbs pretty significantly in the last like 50 meters. So that's a tough finish for sure. We did 8 reps of that. Overall it's about a 325 meter rep, so it was a good distance for the effort. That was the first kind of like hill training or anything like that I've done in quite a while, so I felt it by the end, that's for sure. But it felt nice to actually stretch it out and was running those repeats at about I did the math, I'm trying to figure it out here off the top of my head. I think I averaged about a 4-minute, 20-kilometer pace on those intervals with a good amount uphill. So it's about a 7-minute mile pace, which for me, yeah, that was a solid effort. And then Wednesday was just kind of a nice easy run. Just did a little 6K with a couple friends. And Thursday, this was a fun interval run for me. Thursday I did 10K total, and 4 of it was at kind of like a goal marathon pace. But I did it in like 1 kilometer on, 1 kilometer off sessions. So I did a 2K warm up, and then 1K kind of hard, 1K easy, and then just alternated that until I got 10K. So it was four intervals, and that was good. That actually felt pretty nice. It was on trail. One of the harder sections or intervals was on a little bit of a rougher section, similar to what I'm on now, with a little bit of undulation, a little bit rockier, less maintained. But the 3 of them were on pretty good trail. So my target pace for the half marathon is about a 4:44 kilometer, which works out to just over a 7.5-minute mile. And for me, I think that's definitely achievable, especially if I keep training well and feeling good, which I do after just getting back into things. But those reps I did, I kind of had to look at the grade adjusted pace to get a real feel for what it was. Like, one was a little bit slower, but it was also, there was a little bit of incline on that kilometer. A couple of them were a little bit fast, but again, it was a little bit of a downgrade. So grade adjusted pace, I came in just slightly faster than that target pace, which is fine. I mean, that's right where I want to be, anywhere within like 10 seconds per kilometer on either side of that goal pace. When I'm doing these interval workouts, like, that's good enough. I'm not gonna stress myself that I need to hit 4:44 right on, or any of that shit. Like, if I can hit those intervals, if I can get good training sessions going, I'll be able to tie it together on race day. So training for me is more about perceived effort. I know a lot of people talk about that. And definitely, like, Sage Canada, VO2 Max Productions, that's a channel that I've watched a lot since becoming a runner. And Sage talks about perceived effort a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, in a race, you're not going to hold a steady pace the entire way. If you're going up a little bit of a hill, maintain the same effort, you get a little bit slower result. But on the way down, maintain the same effort, you get a little bit faster result. So, it's not a big deal. It kind of balances out. But, all right, got a little bit of foot traffic ahead of me here. Surveyors or something. Okay, so now I'm on the back on the sort of main section of trail leading into town from this end. Like I said, I've only been out here, I think, once before, when I was training for my first marathon a couple of years ago, and out on a long run, like maybe a 14-mile long run or something. And I gotta say, I thought this section would be a little bit better maintained, but like it's wide enough and it's not too bad, but there are definitely a little bit of ruts from ATVs or whatever else. So yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. When I started this run, I got to about this point on the way out, and my right leg was killing me. I'm wearing a new pair of shoes. I bought them back in the fall, but had kind of, given them to myself as a gift for Christmas sort of deal. Because I didn't need them right away anyway. Just got them on a good deal. But so I've worn the Saucony Ride series the entire time since I've started running a couple years ago, and actually I guess almost 3 years ago now. It's crazy to say, but for whatever reason, between the 9s and the 10s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, never had a problem. This pair, I just couldn't quite figure out how to tie my right shoe. Obviously I know how to tie my shoes, I'm not saying that, but when you get a new pair, yeah, there's a little bit of a break-in period, but I find with the Saucony so far, I can pretty much take it out of the box and go run 10 miles, no problem. But with this particular pair, I just couldn't get my right foot feeling comfortable. And so I had to stop, kind of just, take stock of the situation here today. And actually, I'm going to stop for a second here now, get a drink, and probably wrap this up before I get back down on the main street. But yeah, I just couldn't quite get comfortable, and it was causing a little bit of pain around my ankle, my Achilles, and up into my calf a little bit. But I stopped, stretched it out for a sec, and I made a slight little adjustment with the insole. I moved it maybe 2 millimeters, which is, basically nothing, to the one side, and tightened up this one little lace section on the outside of the shoe near the middle of it. And yeah, I think it's corrected. So once I find the sweet spot, I never untie my shoes ever again. So hopefully now this is good. This is situated, because it felt good this entire way back. And I was actually in some pretty good pain the first couple kilometers of this run. So yeah, so I think I'm good. But you know what? I think I'll just wrap it up there. I've been talking for 13 minutes already. You guys probably have motion sickness from this, so I apologize for that. But just trying to get out here, get some mileage in, nice and easy. For me, my easy kind of non-training days, just getting volume in, are going to be anywhere from a 5.5 minute kilometer to a 6 minute kilometer. And you know what, even if it's slower than that, on my long runs on Sundays, that's fine too. But all right, got some flies around me here. Picked up some stuff, or I was given some stuff a couple years ago by a coworker, and it's from Arbonne, and I forget exactly what it's called, but Arbonne's an all-vegan company, so they're definitely pretty cool. Check them out. A lot of cosmetic type stuff, a lot of food supplements and energy type stuff as well. Not sponsored, by the way. I just, I respect a good brand. Yeah, she gave me this kind of misting spray, and I think it's meant to be kind of it smells a little bit lemony and a little bit flowery as well. I think it's meant to be kind of a sort of moisturizing, but also good for out in the sun type deal. I don't know, but it keeps the flies off me. It keeps the mosquitoes from biting. That's the main thing. They'll still swarm around me, but they get close and they realize, oh shit, I really don't like that stuff, because it does have the citrus in there, and something else I think that the mosquitoes don't like. So it's been a lifesaver without having to goop on a bunch of stuff or spray on a bunch of chemically shit. But yeah, anyway, just a little random insight to my bug repelling. Okay, I'll just wrap it up there because now we're at 15 minutes and I don't know that you've really gained anything from this other than a little bit of a recap of what I've done so far for running this week and you know what's coming up. And I'm excited. I'm definitely building up the mileage, feeling good about it, sleeping a little better, that's for sure. But building up that mileage, and I should be back up to, you know, 40 to 50 miles per week within the next probably like 3 weeks. So that'll be in time to have a really solid couple weeks before I maybe taper off the last 2 weeks before the race, just to give some extra recovery. But I will keep you posted. So thanks very much for watching. Get out and enjoy the trail wherever you are today, or maybe you just got a city street that you can walk on or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully you've got a nice spot you can get outside, enjoy some of this beautiful weather. And until next time, guys, peace.